November 4th, SEKLS Forum. Looks like got a good group. We are recording. I will start by telling you where I was and why I was so late. Okay, great. The Southeast Kansas Library System is a named partner with Greenbush. They got a DOC grant to create tech training for 55 and older in low-income areas. And we are there to help with their distribution goal, which is to distribute information to at least 15,000 people in 14 counties of Southeast Kansas. That's a little over 1,000 people per county. That's not going to be difficult. And she was showing us some of the examples of what they're doing, and it's so simple. Like one of the infographics is, what are all these weird symbols? And I don't know what they mean. You know, for people that just got a new phone, there's going to be videos, there's going to be a video portal, there's going to be other community partners, including Community Health of Southeast Kansas and the Southeast Kansas Area Agency on Aging. So we are, we're in kind of a, you know, I'm feeling really good about this. I think we're going to do, it's going to be good information for us to share and really fill a need that we have when we're doing one-on-one or doing any kind of training with patrons who come and say, help, I got this thing and I don't know how to use it. So we're excited, and as we know more, the grant just started on the 1st of September. But as we know more, we'll get the distribution done. Cindy and Darren are still in that call. So they're going to be our point people for this. Darren is a former trainer and who has worked with special populations. Same with Cindy. Cindy's a special ed educator and works with special populations. So kind of excited. The warning for you is it is ARPA funded. So there will be a keep track of how many flyers we hand out, keep track of how many times you use this content in the library to help them meet the goal of 15,000. And if you've worked with Greenbush in the past, they've got a project manager. She's got like a team of 5 people. They are on it. So it should be a very well managed project for us to work on. So I'm excited about that. The other announcement I want to make is that the system directors met this morning, and we went over the guidelines sort of one final time to review all of the community feedback and input that everybody gave. And those will be incorporated and that draft presented to the State Library Board in September for final approval. So thank you for your feedback on that as well. And and we had the Office of Broadband Development come and talk to us about the DOC grant and the ADOPT grant. So Darren's already told us about those, but there's an informational meeting for any of us who are interested on October 8th at 11 a.m. And just so you know, I know Darren's really excited about the DOC grant. That's about $2 million, but the ADOPT grant, which is technology and connectivity. So if you want money for hotspots and computers and laptops and tablets that you can check out to your patrons, that has a $10 million budget. So I'm thinking we need to be looking at ADOPT. And there are several libraries who have used the ADOPT grant. This is the second round for both of these. So they used it in the first round to, well, you might have read about Wichita used this in, to do the charging stations that have Wi-Fi all over town. Again, these are meant for digital inclusion and to help with the underserved, and we're Southeast Kansas, we're all pretty much in need and underserved. So I'm happy that we're sort of on, we already know about these, and we'll hopefully have already started thinking about how could we use the DOC grant or the ADOPT grant money to get technology in our communities.
How will people access those? Do you have a link?
It's through the Department of Commerce, so we can, well, has Darren not already given it multiple times? Okay. Jason put it in there too, but that webinar again, it's on October 8th at 11 a.m. So, well, and you know, it's Department of Commerce, it's all our friend David from Allen County. That's that. We are still recruiting table leaders for the meeting on Friday because round table discussions were such a hit at the give me my words, people. Director retreat that we all went to. That we were just brainstorming. So I'm going to share some of these with you and you guys can say yay or nay. And maybe we can adjust them a little bit. I thought focusing on some of those interest groups that we had started in the past. So maybe having one of the tables be small but mighty. The little linking and gateways can sit together and talk about issues. Having one table be the building interest group. Those of you that are going through, Sammy, I think we talked to you about this one. Those of you that are going through renovations, new construction, considering changes to your building, having one and it's just a table. You get to pick anybody of the 98 people who have signed up to come to our meeting on Friday. You can pick which table you want to sit at and talk about. It's just free flowing discussion for an hour. So small but mighty, buildings, technology, student engagement for our academic and school librarians, youth services, collection development. Cheryl is already excited and has her laptop that she wants to bring to showcase some of her favorite book buying sites. Services. Other ideas were fundraising, law/policies, trying to think of what would be a table that your board members might want to come to and sit at. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Oh, Bev, we had also talked about doing one on the future of libraries. So sort of a future focused one. And we can also go back to my original plan, which is go pick the table you want to sit at and start talking. We can have a facilitator, or we can all just be the natural born leaders that we are and speak up. So if you're interested in one of those, or if none of those topics spark your interest and you want to do something else, maybe we'll have a couple of placards that are blank and you can just use a Sharpie and create your own. How's that sound? Informal. All right. Potpourri, that was one we had talked about. So we're talking about Friday. Friday is our annual meeting. The annual meeting used to be in June. Now we changed our bylaws so we can have the annual meeting at the same time as the budget hearing and the revenue neutral rate hearing. It is this Friday. Check-in starts at 8:30 in the morning. It is at the SEK Impact Center. SEK Impact Center, which is a new building right behind the Neosho Regional Memorial Hospital, Neosho County Regional Memorial Hospital. We have, in the information that we've sent out, and I think it's on our website as well, there's a link to a directions document, so a little cheat sheet that shows you how to get there. Because if you just type it into Google Map, it kind of doesn't take you exactly where you need to go. Can one of my staff verify that I did put link? Yes, thank you, Jason. You're on top of it. I appreciate it. I'm going to rename myself because I don't want to be SEKLS. There we go. All right. So this meeting is the meeting this year that will count towards a public libraries allocation. because we have to have a majority of our member libraries at this meeting to vote on the board, on the budget. The executive committee is delegated to do almost everything except approve the budget. We have 117 members. That includes all of my county appointees, so half plus one. I think I need like 59 people. Last count, Michelle told us this morning that we have 67. Is that what she said? Yep, we have between 65 and 67 voters. So what the next thing that we're getting ready to do is verify that if you're the only person coming from your library, we're going to assume that you're the voter, that you're the representative for your member library. Michelle might have already started reaching out to people that had multiple people coming from their library so that we know who needs to be on the roll call and who is the actual voter, who's the system representative or the representative for your member library. Thank you. I knew it had lots of letters in it, Brenda. So that is still on the to-do list. And that is for Jennifer, because if you remember from last year, Jennifer has to call out all 67 people because we have to have a roll call vote for the revenue neutral rate hearing that lets us know if you vote yes or no. They're going to, the way the agenda is set, it's a meeting in 3 parts. First part of the meeting is going to be the revenue neutral rate hearing. That's where we'll open up the hearing. Scotty will open up the hearing, and anybody who is interested can come and ask questions or make public comment. We will read a resolution that simply states our budget requires us to exceed the revenue neutral rate. That's it. I mean, it's a resolution, so it's full of verbiage, but in essence, it's saying that we need more money than what the revenue neutral rate would give us. Just so you know, and if you have any questions from your community members, our revenue neutral rate is 1.445. We need to raise 1.446. So it's not like we're greatly exceeding our revenue neutral rate, but because there have been several changes to the budget, including you guys are going to get more allocation, and we're subsidizing the courier more, that meant that we needed some more money than what we were able to, what we've been living on this year. So that's the first part. At that hearing, we'll have a roll call vote, and it's either yes, no to exceeding the revenue neutral rate. That hearing will close. A new hearing will open, and that's the budget hearing. That's where we'll open the hearing. We're open for public comment. If anybody wants to stand up and ask questions, I have shared the budget information. It's on our website. It's in the agenda. You guys will all have copies of budget information in front of you in your packets. So we can have a Q&A during that time. If there's no questions, if there's no comments, that hearing could last a whole 3 minutes, and then it closes. And then Scotty will open the annual meeting. And we have a whole bunch of business for the annual meeting. We have to review the system plan and tentative budget. And that's when I will give my little presentation and talk about the budget and talk about, what the numbers are, where things came from, what our plan is. I'm going to go through the system plan. Again, you guys have heard about it, but maybe your staff and your trustees and the county appointees haven't. So since this is our annual meeting, I feel like I need to go through all of that. So I have a presentation, never done that before. So I'll have a little presentation so you guys can follow along. And then we will vote on the budget. And then we will vote, we have to review the minutes and vote on that, vote on the budget, vote on the slate of nominees for the executive committee. And then we'll have announcements. So I'll talk to you about the digital resources grant and where's my agenda? What was the second? Here it is. Digital resources grant, material delivery grant, recognition of our Apple graduates and our Excellence Award winners. And then we can adjourn. So hopefully that won't take more than an hour. Then we will break out and you can go hang out with the therapy dogs or listen to Sean talk about library legislation. In the morning before the tables that we already mentioned and before lunch, but after breakfast is Pam Hamilton, and she is going to talk about burnout and was it burned out, stressed out, and how to find a way out, I think. So coping mechanisms, how to identify if you're feeling overwhelmed and if you're at the point of burnout, or if you're already checked out, and how to, some self-care recommendations for managing that. Any questions? So we shared out I think I shared out the agenda with you guys so you could look through it. And if you have questions that you're like, I don't want to answer these in this full meeting, I can answer them now if you have any. And there's going to be a lot of paper, but sorry, dead trees. Okay, that was great. Thanks. Should go well. What am I forgetting? I'm looking at my staff and they're like, eh, nothing, you got it all. Okay, great, thanks. Work on the rec tables.
Important stuff, you know, lunch will be served.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a taco bar. So we thought that for, that's the easiest way to manage. I'm a picky eater, I don't want my food to touch. So if I'm building my own, I can be as picky as I want to be and not have to deconstruct the sandwich that they put in front of me, which I hate doing, but I always have to do it at, like KLA. So yes, and then there's also going to be a cheesecake bar. So bring your Lactaid if you need it. And Kim's gonna have just some light stuff for breakfast, snacky doos, not a heavy breakfast, but we will have coffee and water throughout the day. And dress in layers. We can't control the heat if it's too hot or too cold. So I have a little fan that Tammy gave me, so I'll share that with anybody. But yeah, so dress in layers. I think the chairs were fairly comfortable. I don't have any memory of it being, needing to bring my cushion. But it's our annual meeting. It is going to be in a different location, so hopefully you guys like this venue. It's a brand new venue, very high tech. There's an outdoor area, so during breaks, if you want to go and take a walk, you can. It is adjacent to like an ophthalmologist or it's a bone doctor. Yeah. Orthopedic. That's the word I was looking for. It starts with an O. Not an obstetrician. Yeah, the orthopedic center. So we do share an entrance, but as you come in, you're going to go to the right. Has everybody, do you have any questions about the grant, the technology grant? No? Okay. Well, I guess we'll do round robin then. I'm done yakking at everybody. Tammy, you want to start? I'm just going to look at my screen and go that way.
Yeah, there's another bullet point on the agenda that's not me, that's before mine. Possible switch.
Yes. Okay. So at the last system executive meeting, we talked about this. We would very much like to follow in the footsteps of the state library and use EFT or ACH, which is, you know, electronic fund transfer, to distribute money to you. So it goes directly into the bank account that you tell us you want it to go into. It's not going to get lost on courier. It's not going to get lost in the postage. I don't have to spend 70 cents to mail the stupid thing. So this is something that, think about it, talk to your boards about it. I feel that because we already do this with state aid, we should be able to do it with SEK money. Because guess what? We're giving you a lot more money than state aid. So, and I think that this will solve some issues we've had with, where's my check? Oh, I don't know, it got lost. Well, we want to put it in the courier, but do we trust the courier that much? So this is what we're considering, and I would like your feedback. Okay.
And he says it's a great idea.
Oh, thank you. Good. Well, and I know that Brenda Armstrong would like to go that route. My wrist would like to go that route because I have to sign all those checks 4 times a year. So if we do that, that's something we would put into the works for next year. Oh, one more thing. So we talked about the state. Ray wants to add some additional questions to the state survey. And the questions have to do with charter ordinances and whether or not your municipality or your funding source is giving you all that you ask for. You know, is this relationship between the city and the library working the way it's supposed to? So the 4 questions are going to be: first, did your municipality, and I have these, Tammy, and we can copy and paste them into the notes. Did your municipality levy a tax on behalf of your library in 2024? And that's yes, no, or not available. So, or not applicable. And not applicable could be like, Melinda, or Frontenac, that are going to do, it may not be a library levy, but the city gives you money, but comes from a different source. Second question: was municipal funding provided at the amount required by the budget approved by your library board? Meaning you asked for $10,000, they gave you $10,000 plus or minus because of tax delinquency. Or you asked for $10,000 and they felt they could negotiate and only gave you 8. Or you asked for $10,000 and they didn't tell you and gave you 12. You know, so what's the answer to that second question? Third, does your municipality have an established cap on your library's mill rate? Yes, no, or not applicable if you're a township or a district. And if yes, were you at that cap in 2024? So for all of you like Connie who have been fighting and at that cap for years and years, we now will gather that information and we'll know, is this a regional issue or is this a statewide issue? Andrea asked, will we be able to have different funds go into different accounts? For example, allocation in one account, but materials reimbursement in a different account. We'll have to see how complicated it is. If it's just, I have a feeling that's going to be, we'll put it into one account and you have to transfer it. I know, Andrew, you're kind of in a unique situation with the way your city helps with your bills. So we will take that into consideration as we're trying to get this set up. How's that for an answer? I don't know. Okay. Okay, I'm done now, Tammy. Sorry. Go.
No, you're good. These are exciting things that are happening. Another exciting thing is the FEBL grant is open, and I'm going to drop the link into the chat for anyone that's interested in applying or looking at the application more closely. At its heart, this is a grant that works with what are called the protective factors for the prevention of child maltreatment, and correlates those, matches them up to what we do in public libraries. So we're doing more of those things if you're implementing this grant to help prevent child abuse and neglect. And so you get money to build a family-friendly play space. You get information about brain development and early childhood, and information about, this year we're going to work with a professor from Emporia State and look at plans for reaching underserved and unserved populations. So there's some exciting things that are happening as we go into year 4. If you're even thinking about it, I'd love to talk to you. If you're ready to apply, please do. There's money available. And if you have other questions, you can talk to me if you want to know what it looks like or feels like to implement this grant. I know Sammy's on this call, Bonnie's on this call, Deanne's on this call, Sharon's on this call. So there's folks around that can help answer questions as well. That's what I have.
If you guys want to see our infographic that Tammy just gave us that shows like the impact and how it's impacted the number of families that are using our space, you know, it goes year 1, year 2, year 3. So it is a huge impact and for the positive. Okay, next I have Jason showing up.
Hi. I don't have much. I did send out the registration for my upgrade training, which will be on September 20th at 10 a.m. Just Zoom. I realized I didn't put that in the news item in Koha, so I'll put that out there. It's also on the calendar on the website if you haven't registered yet. And then I'll be out of the office next week, the week of the 23rd, at the International Koha Con in Montreal. And then the week after that is our upgrade, I believe. So be expecting more information on that soon. And I guess that's most of it. I do want feedback on Twilio if you've got it. We switched the text messaging last Monday. I know there are some improvements we need to make, and I've got that on my to-do list. But if you've got suggestions or things you want to see changed, do let me know.
Thank you. We will be, so the month of September is sort of the month for vacations and or being out of the office for trainings and ARSL and things like that. So be patient with us if it takes a little bit of time to respond to things. Tammy and I are both going to be out of the office during the week of ARSL. Jason told you when he's going to be out, and Tammy's also going to training in Kentucky. So we will most likely be checking our email just because we're compulsive that way. But it might take a little bit longer to get an answer to your questions. And we are still without a consultant. So we've had 3 people apply, and we're still looking. So we're trying to find other incentives for people to come to Southeast Kansas. All right, next I see Kim.
Nope, don't really have anything. So, send your cataloging if you need stuff cataloged.
And laminating, if you need stuff laminated.
Oh yeah.
And we have the bug zapper. Yeah, so. Okay. And I already said Jason and Cynthia are out of the, well, they're on that other call. And Jake, do you have anything for the tech department?
I don't think so. I know Darren's still going around with the laser. If you're not on the schedule for that and want it, let him know.
Okay. And Brenda?
I wanted to make sure everyone saw Nikki's Hanson from the State Library, her post yesterday. There will be training, the statewide training on Share It. We're hosting one of the sessions here at the SEKLS offices on the 19th. And it starts at 10 o'clock, goes to 4 with an hour and 15 minutes for lunch. I will be here. I'm not providing the training. The trainer is Debbie Hensler. I wrote it down, Hensler. She's the same one that does the monthly online stuff. So be sure you register for that. I'm going to attempt to put that in the chat. Who knows if I will do it right. I'm gonna try.
I
That was
see
on
it.
that was on Can ILL, not Can Lib. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you didn't see it, then you need to make sure you get registered for Can ILL. And that's about it. I'm not gonna talk about Courier this
Okay.
time.
I do want to welcome our two newest libraries to Seek and Find. We have Susie from Fort Scott Community College. So speaking of Courier, and she's already given you what 9 or 10 of your holds have been requested. So her books are already floating out into the consortium. And then Connie and Eureka joined us also. So welcome to all of them, both of them. So, and be sure to call if you have questions. I feel like I'm. Michelle's not here. Brenda's not here. Okay, we're good. Okay, so round robin for you guys. How's life? You survived summer reading.
Thank you to everyone.
Oh,
Thank you to everyone who turned in your summer reading data. I just compiled it this afternoon and it's been reported up to the state.
yay! How do we compare?
I've not done comparisons yet.
Oh, okay. Did it feel busier, folks, than years past? Good. I don't know, maybe the heat kept people away. I don't know, do they come to the library when it's hot or do they leave the library when it's hot? All right. Any so this is the round robin portion. So anything that you guys have that you have questions about or that you want to talk to us about, you can. I see Darren, I just admitted Darren to the meeting. Just let him know I did talk about the grant project that you guys in the meeting that you were just on, and asked if there were questions about the competitive grant. I guess everybody knows what they want to work on. I mean, we're gonna see y'all on Friday, so if we want to have a short meeting, we can. A few announcements, and yeah, Jennifer.
I was just going to say that we had our revenue neutral rate hearing during our city council meeting last night. And they voted 4-3 not to exceed it. So we're definitely going to get less.
Well, so that should not technically impact you. That just means that the city has to figure out how to get the funds that you requested in a different way. They probably will argue that that's not the case, and which is one of the discussions we had this morning in our system directors meeting. So it could be that you and your board president will need to have a discussion or a sit down with the mayor and the city manager to look at the finances. How, by not exceeding the revenue neutral rate, do you know what kind of a hit to the overall budget that's going to be?
Well, what they had done was they didn't release our cap, but our historical society was also requesting more money. And what they were going to do was raise their mill levy extra and give portions of that to each of us.
Right.
So that is what we will be missing for sure. I am assuming.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing additional meetings are going to need to happen because.
Yeah, they're having a workshop on the 10th, and the 16th, I think, is when they're supposed to meet. I'm assuming to prove the budget.
Yeah, well, so are you gonna be able to go to that workshop or somebody from the library?
I will, yeah, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, sorry that happened. But we are, know that we're, like I said, we talked about it this morning. We understand that it's an issue. Some places are also getting dinged because, well, Allen County, we received 2 revenue neutral rate mailings because the first one, they didn't put the city of Iola on it. And that could have jeopardized the city of Iola being able to raise their mill levy. So there's just a lot of loopholes that can risk or create issues with us trying to get the funding that we need.
Well, I think the public's not informed enough because people are complaining about taxes being raised, but actually the city taxes wouldn't be going up. It's mostly the county. And that's why they didn't want to raise anything, but they also wanted to help. And I don't think they understood that they were not helping us and they were not really making the taxes for them a whole lot less.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, mill levy math is complicated, and sometimes I think it's complicated on purpose, so people can't understand where the money comes from and how that teeter-totter between mill levy rate and actual tax dollars works.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I had just gone to we did a mill levy math tutorial at for Jennifer's trustee training. So if anybody else needs that, I have it now. Samantha?
I still had one more thing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So last night was very depressing and stressed me out. So come in this morning and it's like one thing after another going on with the building. Internet. And the city crew was out mowing and weed eating and hit a rock or something and shattered one of our front doors.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So
they're gonna pay for that?
the city administrator is trying to get it fixed. So
let's hope so. See,
yes.
That's their bad karma. That's what they get.
I don't know, but he's gonna be on top of it. And actually I think he is trying to root for us where before we didn't have someone, because when they voted last night, he said, are you sure you want to go with this? Because this will mean you're giving the library less money and the historical society. So
yeah, well, I don't know about the
Fine.
historical society, but technically those 4 questions that we're asking in the state survey,
yeah,
was municipal funding provided at the level the library board requested?
yeah, that would be a
So,
no.
Yeah, that'd be a no, but you have a cap, so.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, that's all I have.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm so sorry that you're having a rough day. Go find Luna and, get some cat choo-choo.
I definitely need that and some chocolate.
Oh, well, yeah. All right, Samantha?
I was just going to talk about our summer reading stats. I was going over them for my board meeting next week and noticed that our children's, the books that they reported they read was over 16,000 titles. So I was really, really pleased with that number. That's a 440% increase from last year.
Holy
and then
cow.
our teen, yeah.
And you weeded, right? Right?
And we weeded. That's right. And well, and we created the play space. I mean, I think that really does have a lot to do with it. If there's a library thinking about it, they should. Anyway, our teens is completely different. They don't have to count how many books they read. They just have to turn in how many pages. And this is the second time or the second year that we've done this. And they had 106% increase from last year. They read almost 2,000 pages. So I just thought those numbers were pretty cool.
Thank you. Libraries are still relevant. Good. Darren, is there anything for round robin?
Did you mention about the E-rate?
No, I forgot to mention about the training for that.
Webinar. We'll get more information out to you, but from 2 to 3, I've invited Ben from E-Rate Solutions to to talk to the different libraries about category 1 and category 2.
What was the date again?
It's November 14th, 2 to 3.
Okay. Oh, other training that we have coming up, we're gonna work with Brenda Haug to do 2 quick tips trainings. These are gonna be webinars. One's gonna be on project management, the other one's gonna be on time management. One of them was supposed to be last week, but it snuck up on us, so it's gonna be in November, and the other one is in October. And we're finalizing the flyer for that to get it out by September 10th, so our 1 month prior. Anybody else?
I do want to add that the meeting that we just went through, I think the libraries are going to have a lot of opportunity to help out on distributing these little snippets that they've got, and the library is the one that's got some of the connections to the cities and to different organizations. I think this could be something very good for the libraries to participate in, as far as stuff that's going out to 55 and older from the Green Bush or Learning Tree.
Because, 55-year-olds, we just need a lot of help with technology.
And then they mentioned a lot of intergenerational stuff too. So this does give us a chance to do intergenerational programs that can reach out to different aspects of the 55 population,
Yeah,
children of, and of course, children that are 55 of children that are of parents that are way above 55. So,
well, yeah, those of us with 80-year-old parents.
Let me just comment, because I'm over 55 now, and I'm thinking, okay, so is there technology I'm missing out on? Because as I get older, I kind of am weeding through technology to the things that I find useful and or am interested in. So I know that there's a lot of things out there, but one of the things that you might want to consider when you're marketing this is, what are we not using that maybe we should know about in this age bracket?
Well, yeah, what is hip and happening that we have no clue about? What are they talking about? There's going to be 5 categories. They're going to focus on communication, so basic using the technology to communicate, using it to create. So her example was to create a photo book, to do genealogy, to get onto Pinterest, and then also for social interaction, for transacting, so all things money, to two-factor authentication. I wondered if they're going to do one on Venmo or, phone to phone transacting, and then security. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope that they do realize that Gen X is 55. So,
Wow, all of that, I'm like, I'm pretty
yeah, I
much
think I
sure
kind
I
of
got most of that down. But I am interested to know, what do they think we should know that we don't? Maybe we're just, above the curve or something on technology.
well, actually, one of their examples is they actually addressed how 55-year-olds who have parents that are older, that the parents might not use Facebook at all, but the 55-year-olds are using Facebook. So what are the 80-year-olds using instead? And some of it still, they did emphasize that paper is still important.
Yeah.
Someone gave me their email address the other day and it was at AOL.com. I didn't even know that was still a thing.
And because they were talking.
You're cutting out, Darren.
I'm sorry.
We must have kids in the library using the Wi-Fi. Okay, Andrea.
Just a couple of things. Our summer reading program was similar. Well, okay. We did have an increase in the younger kids reading, but the older kids not so much. So I need to talk to Sam about that. see what good advice she has. I was just gonna say that am on, for those of you that use Libby or use the Sunflower, I guess, I don't know how many people in this area are on Sunflower, but we use Sunflower, and I am on the consortium committee for that. And we met the other day, and it's been a little loosey. Well, I shouldn't say it's been loosey-goosey. One person pretty much took care of it for like the last umpteen years. And now that person is gone. And so we are working on, mostly Eric Gustafson is working on the bylaws, so we can have some structure to it. So when people join or have questions, you know, they can be answered. And so if you're involved with Sunflower eLibrary already, there is going to be some information at KLA, a meeting, some voting on some bylaws and that kind of stuff. I'm sure there'll be more information come out about that. If you're not involved in Sunflower eLibrary, I will say that it is pretty popular with our patrons. It is not, you pay a flat amount for the whole year. It's not by item like Hoopla is. And we've always had really good luck with it. So they're changing. One of the things that is changing is that in the past, the system that took care of it, I don't know that there was really a maintenance charge by them, you know, to do all that. And there is going to be a small fee for that, which, you know, only makes sense to me because I don't want to take care of it. And so there's that. And there's things that I didn't even know about or don't pay a lot of attention to with it. I just give them my money and tell them to buy whatever they want to buy because it's easiest. But anyway, so if you have questions about that, don't call me, call Eric Gustafson at Derby, because I'm just sort of pretending like I know what I talk about. But I just thought you'd want to know that there are some things going on with that, and a group of people are trying to work to make it so that there's some structure to it, and not just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. So there is that. And just to let you know, Jennifer, I have sympathy for you. We did not break out an entire door window, but we do have a crack in one of the panes on our inner lobby door. So we will have to have somebody come fix that. But we did finally get the women's bathroom doorknob fixed after 3 weeks. So there is that.
It must be the season to work on buildings, because we spent the whole last month fixing all these little things that need to be fixed. Did you guys have any questions about the digital resources grant, which is the new sort of, I call it the agnostic grant, that's going to be for digital resources for next year? It's going to change. It's no longer the Hoopla grant. You guys did give me some feedback, and so there's going to be 3 options. One is status quo. We pay Hoopla just like we always have. So your portion that you're eligible for will go directly to Midwest Tape. So no change there. The second option is keep Sprint cash busy, because the money can go to the digital book fund, which is you send us funds above and beyond what the grant funds, you know, that's up to you. And then we select ebooks and audiobooks for whatever the state library platform is. Right now it's Cloud Library. And then part C is a digital resources reimbursement. So if you want to purchase your own materials for Cloud Library, do that, send us the receipt, and we'll reimburse you for that cost. If you decide you want to use Sunflower eLibrary, you can put the money that you're eligible for this grant towards the Sunflower eLibrary, or maybe your Canopy, or maybe you're an academic library and you have some other completely random source that I don't know about of digital resources that you would like to put this money towards. So this grant, it's gone from $30,000 to $40,000, and it's going to include all public libraries and all academic libraries. And if by default, if you don't tell us what you want done with this, it's going to go to the digital book fund. I think that's what we decided. Yeah, eligible libraries that do not respond with a grant application will have their funds allocated to the digital book fund. All right. So not Hoopla. So this will be this is what we're going to talk about, and I'll announce it and show you guys it's going to be in your packet. So we have about 9 minutes left. Anybody else for the round robin? Thank you to everybody who did share. Thank you, Andrea, for volunteering to be on the ERIC committee. I mean, the Sunflower E-Library committee. And I know that the former system is happy to have that taken off their plate.
Well, and Eric's very good at it. I mean, he did a good job of getting it all organized for us. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah. Brittany, what do you mean by a comparison for Cloud, Sunflower, and Hoopla? Because they're very, very different.
That's kind of it. Like, I don't know what all the differences are yet.
Okay, so Cloud Library and the Sunflower E-Library are pretty similar in that they are more like a traditional library, but for digital content, where that content is selected and purchased. And if somebody has it checked out, you have to wait on hold to get access to it. The difference between Cloud and Sunflower, Cloud Library ebooks are only EPUB or PDF, whereas Sunflower E-Library, if you have a Kindle reader, you can check out a book from Amazon and you can read it on your Paperwhite. That's why I'm a Sunflower user, because I have a Kindle and I use it all the time. Hoopla is a pay per use. So the more people you have using Hoopla, the faster the costs go up. You can put limits. You can say, in Hoopla, we only show people content that is less than $2 or less than $3. And you can put limits to say any person, they can check out up to 3 items per month, or you can set a monthly financial limit for your library. That's what we have to do in Iola. So soon as $350 worth of content has been checked out in a month, the system's done. It's closed for business. We do that to minimize the impact on the budget, because it can and has proven to be unsustainable, and especially in larger libraries. Some libraries were spending $20,000 a year just on Hoopla. So, does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And cost-wise, the way Sunflower E-Library is set up right now, you pay a platform fee, plus you send money that is used that's pooled to do collaborative collection development. But if you want to, you can spend some of your own money on top of that as well. And you can also do a thing called an Advantage account. For my library, it was $1,500. It depends on how big you are. So again, reach out to, ouch, Andrea. Reach out to Eric Gustafson at the Derby Public Library. Or is there a website, Andrea? Do you guys have like can we go online and find the Kansas Kansas information? Everything I have is from when David was.
I do not have a clue, but it cost us around $900 for the flat rate fee or the whatever you want to call it, subscription to Sunflower, I think. And then I think the fee to whoever's gonna run it is like probably gonna be around $50 or something. Yeah, and then we don't do the Advantage part. We just do the whatever. And I just, like I said, I just tell them, take my money and buy whatever you want to buy, because I don't want to have to deal with it.
So the Advantage, the Advantage collection means that if you want to do your own collection development, you want to pick the books, you can limit them you can do a limited access to just your patrons for a while, and then revert those, basically change their item type and make them available to everybody. So you can set up an Advantage account, or you can do like what Andrew said, and it's just bought for the system as a whole. Jennifer?
Is there any way someone can send me a link to
Yeah,
find
we
out
gotta
more
find it
information?
first.
Yeah.
But yeah. The other thing we can do is Eric likes to talk. Should I invite Eric to come to our next forum and talk to us about Sunflower e-library? Sorry.
Sounds good to me.
I will see. We'll see. And it's another source. So that's why we wanted to make this grant so that you can decide what works best for your community. And if Hoopla is it, then Hoopla is it. But for a lot of folks, it's not sustainable. And it could be that the cloud library, the state library could change who they work with. So, that could be a change in the future too. Okay, so we will try to find some additional information about Sunflower to send to the director's listserv. Unfortunately, Hoopla and I think Sunflower, I don't think either of those have a school library option. To director's list. All right. Okay. We have 3 minutes. Anyone? Anyone? I gotta say it. I want to. But, all right. Thank you so much. We will hopefully see you on Friday at the SEK Impact Center behind the hospital. And what am I doing? There we go. Give us a call. We're here if you need us. Keep us busy. We appreciate it. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm going to end this recording. Put it in the cloud.